In life, sometimes you feel like you need a lot of people to do something, but sometimes you have to step out on faith and just do it all by yourself. Well, you're not by yourself because God is with you, and you just have to find the courage to do it. Be like Peter and just step out the boat. When he saw Jesus walking on the water, everyone else was, frightening and afraid. But you know why I love Peter so much too? Peter said to Jesus, like, Lord, if this is you, bid me to come unto you. And Jesus was like, come on. And Peter stepped out of the boat and he walked on the water. He walked on the water. So sometimes in life, when you're feeling you need this one to come along the journey with you, or you're trying to get that one to, stand by you, and sometimes you just got to do it by yourself with God, of course. And so if you're focusing and doing something with God, you will succeed. You will succeed. And so as we enter, well, we're not entering in, we're in the middle of Black History Month. I just want to encourage each and every one of us that no matter what the situation may look like, let's step out on faith, right? Let's have crazy faith. It doesn't matter what it's looking like. Let's have crazy faith, knowing that God got us and we can do this. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, let's do it. Today, I want to talk about, for a brief moment, let's just talk about, because it's also Valentine's Day weekend coming up, right? And I'm also watching this show called, it's on Netflix, and it's called Young, Famous, and African. Yes, Young, Famous, and African. And man, when I tell you the view of Africa that I'm seeing in this series on Netflix, I'm like, whoa, Africa is beautiful. I will encourage everyone, if you want to take a vacation, take a trip, let's go to Africa. I too want to visit, the countries in Africa. They went to Cape Town. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. The view on the mountain. Beautiful. I have to visit, Africa at some point in time. So the question I want to ask, being that there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of drama on this show, right? But what I'm seeing is that, all right, here's the question. Let me just go ahead and ask the question. Do you believe that a male and a female could be best friends, and vice versa? And also, do you feel that a woman should propose to a man? First, let me give my opinion. I do believe that a male and female could be best friend without any feelings being involved. I don't know why society I think society kind of put in people's head that no, it's not possible. Somebody's going to have feelings. But I do believe that you could have a good friendship with someone and there's no feeling involved. You guys just connect and hang out, and it's nothing sexual about it, nothing, inappropriate about it. And I feel like we should make that be normal. We allow society to put in our minds that a male and female can't be friends without something being behind it. And that is not true, I would say this, though, that I have known I have known of, people who were, friends, and then eventually they became, partners. But again, that's also an excellent way to start off a relationship, right? The second thing that I mentioned was about, the second question was, should a female propose to a male? I do not believe in that. I'm very, I try to not be traditional, because some traditional things are, that's just a whole nother episode. But in this instance, I'm very traditional when it comes to that. I do not believe that a woman should be proposing to a man. That's a big no, no bueno. No bueno. So, and if we look back at the Bible, it also tells us that the Bible says, he that findeth a wife, right? Not saying that the woman should just be sitting back, waiting for the man to come rescue her. Nothing like that. But again, I believe that the man should take the first approach in, taking that step. This is just a quick snip of what I want my show to be about, and just having conversation and promoting growth among us as we go through life. There will be a lot of challenges, and how are we navigating these situations, as we go through life? How are we developing ourselves and being a better person? And how are we handling different situations that may arise in our life? Whether it be from the workplace, whether it be from friendship, whether it be, family situation, whatever is going on in the world, in society today, our current event. If you look at, there's so much to talk about there. And so I'm going to dive into that at some point. But for right now, I'm just trying to perfect this craft, right? Because you have to start somewhere. I keep saying I'm going to start. I'm trying to get people to be on my show, or I should say the podcast, and not everybody's schedule is coinciding with the time and day that I want to do it. And you know what? It's also was a push for me to say, Kim, how long are you gonna wait on people, so to say? Sometimes you gotta do it by yourself. You gotta put the work in. You gotta show that you could do it. And the vision that I kind of have for my podcast, it may not be able to happen at this time, right? But we never know what the future may look like and how it may develop, later on. But that doesn't mean that you become stagnant. And I think that's what has happened with me. Like, I've become stagnant where I want the big thing first. I want the big thing right now. You know what I mean? I want the big thing right now. And it cannot be like that. So you could start off small, put in the work. And it's kind of you getting practice as well, right? Because as much as you feel as if you would be a great interviewer, or you will be you have like a phenomenal panel, you have the right questions, and by practicing and just learning as you go along, you become better at your craft, right? Because I've always said, like, man, from watching Oprah Winfrey, yes, when she had her television show, from the Oprah Winfrey Show, I used to just love watching it and just seeing how she interviews people. I love that. I love that. And I always say, I want my own TV show. And I remember watching Ricky Lake. I don't know if anybody remember Ricky Lake. I'm kind of aging myself right now, right? But I don't care. It's okay. I used to just enjoy those talk show, and I always wanted a talk show. So sometimes we have this vision in our head and what we want, and it may not quite work out that way, because sometimes the plan that God has for our life, we may be going down that road, but sometimes all right, make a left right here. All right, do a right turn right here, or you're going to yield this way, and we just got to follow his leading. And I think a lot of times we kind of hinder ourselves or hold ourselves back because we're still trying to create this image of what we want to do and not consulting God and his plan for our life. So as I move forward with this podcast, I hope that it will bring clarity as we, navigating through life. And like I mentioned before, just fostering growth, personal growth, and working on things that's going to make us better as individual. Because when we left 2024, I really don't know if people still do this, but making New Year's resolution, I sure didn't do it. But I set goals for myself and what I want to accomplish, and we want to make sure that we're not doing the same thing we did in 2024 in 2025. And as we're in the month of February, some people may already have given up on what they said they was gonna do. So I just want to take this time to just encourage you. Revisit that notebook where you wrote down, or go back in your phone in your notes where you says, I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna eat better, I'm gonna do better at reaching out to family members, I'm gonna do better at reaching out to friends. Whatever you said that you was gonna do, I just want to remind you to do it. All right, do it. And that's it for today. And I'm gonna be calling my episode. So this will be season 2025, episode 1. All right. And I hope that you enjoy this segment, and I hope you will tune in another time. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. In life, there will be a lot of challenges, but I want to remind you to keep moving forward.